The tornado was widening, thinning out. The doctor was laughing madly. No, it was warm and genuine, his real laugh. There wasn't a hint of madness in it, just delight, elation. He had gone native, thought Angie. He had become Hitchamus, hardwired into its atmosphere, into its air and water. "That's enough," he said. His voice was as clear as though he was standing next to her. "No more, that's quite enough." The tornado hadn't been the thing that was coming. It was just an overture. The sky darkened, the lightning dying down to nothing. It all stopped, snapping off. The air sang with tension. The doctor stopped laughing. He raised his hands above his head and brought them sharply down. Then it happened. The entire eastern sky had burst like a flashbulb. It wasn't lightning, not unless it was a bolt several kilometers wide. It couldn't have been a nuke. Surely the flash would have been followed by a killing shockwave. Whatever it was, it had hit the spaceport. She immediately imagined what must be left of the tarmac and its double arc of buildings. The sun had come out. The sky overhead was a blurry patch of blue, painful to look at. A hole in the middle of the clouds. It looked like an eye in reverse, blue pupil and black iris, staring down at the dam. "Do I have your full attention?" said the doctor. He was still there at the top of the dam. He was speaking normally, even quietly, but the swirling winds picked up his voice and carried it across the dam. It was something like those invisible speakers they used here, thought Angie. She was certain that all of the combatants had heard it. Probably the whole city had heard it. Maybe the whole planet had heard it. Now she could see the tigers and humans, cowering together at the edge of the creek. They stood stunned, shaking their heads from side to side, rubbing their eyes. Faces were turned up to the widening circle of light above them, and the small figure beneath it. "I've spent all this time encouraging you to find your own solution," said the doctor. "I wanted you to work together to make peace. Well, now I'm going to make you make peace." Angie realized he wasn't quite touching the ground. The winds were holding him up, like a bird of prey hovering in place. "Yes, I've destroyed the spaceport," he said. "I could destroy everything if I wanted to. All of it. The city, the storehouses, the bewilderness. I could erase this last bit of land. Let the ocean swallow it up. But I'm not going to. Of course I'm not going to. I wish you could see yourselves. Tiny people, miniature tigers." He spread his arms wide. "The tigers took this world and saved it. Made it possible for life to go on here. They've reached incredible heights again and again. The weather system they built stretches over the entire globe. And you're both arrogant enough to think that this planet is yours to control. Well, the planet is tired of your fumbling games. The human beings came here across the empty sky of the universe. Imagine it. You're both like sailors from different seas, cast up together on the same little island, this tiny, precious island world. It's just you now. I could have destroyed anything, everything, but I've destroyed the spaceport. You're stuck here, with one another. This world is inherently unstable, like everything in life. The only way it can be made habitable is to correct the drift in the weather system. And I've done a little tinkering. I've just made that drift much, much worse. Your island will be ruined and gone within a decade unless you fix it. Neither of you have the skills to do that on your own, not before the hurricanes destroy you. The tigers understand how their ancestors thought. They can translate the archives, work the machines. The humans understand weather. They'll bring the scientific knowledge the tigers are lacking. It's up to you now. I've finished here. Save your own world for a change." And Angie realized he wasn't possessed. He wasn't transformed. He was, at last, absolutely himself. He took a bow in the spotlight of sunshine and walked away. Out in the savannah, where the glass and water of Port Eni are a distant glitter, a tiger sits crouched on a dirt mound. Waves of heat rise from the grassy plain all around, shimmering. The tiger sits upright, its stumpy tail turned to one side. Its long chin rests on one paw. It holds the book it stole from the central library in one of its feet, lazily, stretching its flexible toes to turn the pages. After a while, the tiger reaches down and picks up its violin. The instrument is lying, carefully positioned, on a tussock of grass. The tiger grasps it firmly in its 6 digits, sliding it up under its jaw, allowing it to rest on its shoulder. The tiger squints at the book again. Its eyes have evolved to detect movement, not fine detail. It must switch to less reliable, focused vision to read the score. Balanced on the dirt hill, its clawed fingers sliding over the strings, bow clutched in a furry paw, the tiger begins to play.